you could just kind of get into a bunch of trouble and
yeah.
explore the world and you know, make all those mistakes and hopefully learn something from them. I feel like that period, there's a romanticism that I sort of, or a nostalgia that I long for, that I wish I had done that prior to sort of, you know, jumping into the working world.
Yeah, it's one thing. It's the downside of celebrity or popularity is that, yeah, there's things you can't kind of go do like like sometimes I'll romanticize as well, like being like, oh, I'd like to go there, but then I'm like, it would be more uncomfortable now, or it would be some type of way. And
did you do it after school? Did you ever get a chance to travel? And
yeah, I had a girlfriend. We went over there, and that was like a 7-country fight we went on. Oh man, I fought in so many territories and different oh man, I thought I was like working with Napoleon or something over there. It was a lot of oh yeah, I should get a medal for that, and so should she. I'm gonna say that.
What was the drama? What was it coming from?
Just, I think you don't know how you are when it's like stressful out there, when you're on trains and you're moving your bags all the time. And we booked too many places to go see. Like we should have done 4 days in each spot, and we tried to do like 2 days, 9 spots instead of do like 4 spots, 5 days.
Yeah.
And so you're just constantly on the go, and I would be sneaking off and just drinking wine by myself. And and then one night I went off to the grocery by myself, and somebody had like a hit of LSD or something. It was like probably a pretty, you know, nouveau grocery, I guess. And because I mean, it wasn't on the shelves, but it was available in the parking lot, you know, which I consider an extension of the grocery. But yeah, so then I came back there, and I was like, I thought it would like boost my spirits, and then it was just that was horrible. And that time we were like in a camping sort of environment where there were outhouses and stuff. And so
in what country?
That was outside of Venice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was great, but it was just like, that was just a lot, you know?
Crammed too much in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like going on that, doing something like that now, it would just feel like, it would feel tougher. And I'm sure, it's like you're Chris Hemsworth now. So it's like, there's, you know, that name is bigger than you. And so it's like.
It's interesting because I sort of at a point in my life where, I don't know if you find this, but every few years you're kind of, you know, what was the goal at one point quickly becomes the norm, and then you're onto something else, and then it's the sort of reassess of like what my purpose is around, or the why as to doing this thing, and I'm chasing it for one reason, then it's for something else, and I'm at that sort of point where I'd love to sort of step away and on one hand and you know, do a little sort of soul searching and dig a little deeper and sort of get a little more solitude and time for yourself. But I think, what would that look like? You know, it's like,
right, there's the idea that's romantic that feels like,
it's not quite.
But then the reality, it's hard to like say, well, would I be okay in that footing?
Yeah, like I'm not going backpacking at 42, and not that I'm, you know, I've got 3 kids, and then that's not my kind of.
Yeah, your backpack would be full.
Yeah, it'd be pretty full of all 3 of them. But it was, but more just the kind of, how do you, the way you see the world through when you are famous and recognized versus when you're not, you know, different things. People interact differently to you, you know, for good and bad, but also the opportunities that sort of present themselves and the places you can kind of inhabit become a little limited, you know, in that sense. But, you know, it's what it is. Yeah.
The world's your oyster, but it's like, you know, it's
you have this opportunity, but there's a restriction. There is such a restriction to your how much you can really involve yourself in it. You know, it becomes very observational. You know, we're going to press tour and you go to like 10 different countries, and it's like, God, that must be amazing. It's like, from the hotel room, you know, you're looking out, and then, you know, if there's posters and so on around the streets of your face everywhere, then it's even more difficult. But it's and not to say you can't navigate your way around it at times.
Right, and we're not complaining, but no, it's an interesting look, and it's a good thought.
Yeah.
You can only, it becomes very observational.
Yeah, which look, hey, is not a negative either at times. It's sort of
just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think of like popularity and stuff like that. It's just interesting to be part of an experiment. Like, okay, this is what it's like.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I know, like, okay, there's good parts, there's bad parts. I don't think of it as me really as much as like, okay, I'm in this setting.
Yeah.
And this is the experience.
And it's also, it's like the sort of polarity of things. Like every time you solve one problem, life has a way of of presenting another challenge, and not even a problem. It's like the in order to be able to evolve and growth, the adversity that's shifted your way, and I think that's the sort of the misconception, I suppose, is the assuming that this, that, and the other I'll be void of those problems.
It'll solve it all.
And so what comes with huge benefit, in being like your recognizable personality and so on, and fame and all that, is incredible. And it comes with its own things, as does in any industry. I remember talking to my mum about this years ago. She was a high school teacher, and I was like, man, it's really tricky at work. I got the cast and the producer, and then does the film work and this. And she said, yeah, I could kind of, line those things up parallel to my experience, and the students might be my audience, and the principals, the producer, and so on. And it's like, that's life, that's the experience. And I think I've gotten much better at sort of not, egoically thinking that my experience is somehow separate, different, or unique. It's like whatever industry, whatever demographic, wherever you're born, your kind of life has a way of throwing you the same sort of options, I guess, to appreciate things in its truest form, rather than sort of, goal seeking or accumulating or whatever.
Yeah, the game doesn't really change. It's like, you don't think of like, oh, these problems are different. It's just like, okay, now there's new things, and that's just life. There's not really I don't think that popularity or celebrity is an escape from
no. And I think if you've
the
sort
truth
of
of things, if you're realistic.
Yeah, for sure. And there's certainly, there's a sort of, you see countless times again and again, the sort of, I guess not even the purity, but the sort of the motivation behind pursuing something, if it is for the assumption of it solving all the problems, like get ready for a rude awakening, and it's like, oh shit, that didn't answer all the questions I had, or it did momentarily, and then there's a new set the next morning, and so kind of